I think I need to stop planting so many extra seeds. Welcome back! Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader, and this is my indoor garden right now. The cilantro is doing pretty well. I'm not 100% sure why. I'm getting a little bit of crusting in some of the leaves, but overall, they all look good. So it's only a few of them here and there that I'm having problems with, which is good. I'd rather it be a few than all. And then over here, so I don't know if you remember last week, I started some seeds. These ones are in the cotton balls. This one, there might be some germination down way in the bottom there. This is celery. And then I'm pretty sure this one has some germination in it as well. So that's pretty good. I think both of these might have germinated. I don't know what that bigger bit of whatever that fell in there is, but I might pull out the extra seed and put that in its own pod so I can have 3 celeries. I don't think a bounty can handle more than 3 celery plants, and yes, I know this is not a bounty, it's a harvest. I will be probably moving those in the next day or so into their own bounty, so they'll get their water and all that. There's still currently no water in here, as evidenced by the flashing light and the fact that the pump is still not plugged in. So they're getting light, but they don't have food or water or anything like that. I have been monitoring the sponges to make sure they stay damp, and I think as long as I've got a bit of condensation on there, there is a bit of water in there, so nothing to be too concerned about. But yeah, I don't think a bounty can handle more than 3, because I had some problems last year in the fall and over the winter when I had 6 in the bounty, and I tried to drop it back, but I think it was just a little too late. So I'm only going to do 3 this year. Mind you, that means I still started too many seeds. As you can tell by all of the lettuce, I planted 2 per pod, and yeah, they all came up, so I split them, and they're looking pretty good. Sponges are still wet, or I guess the cotton buds. They are to the point where they probably need to have their... Oh, that one's actually looking a little dry. They need to be split up some more because this is obviously too many for a bounty, and they need to get water and probably a little bit of food as well. So I have... That one is still clean and ready to go, just waiting. There's nothing in it right now. And this one is full, so one of these will be for celery. One of these will be for some lettuce. I think, you know, 2 was a great number. 3 was a little too many, so I might have to pull out another something. Bounty, harvest. I definitely have room for another harvest up on the shelf above. I don't know if I have room for another bounty down here. So that'll take care of 4 of them if I do 2 harvests. And if I do, yeah, I'm still going to need something else. But anyways, the perpetual spinach looks awesome. And since I haven't really been eating it, it's just been growing like crazy. And it's very interesting how different the 2 are. See, this one, it's kind of more upright and, you know, big leaves and all that. This one's got smaller leaves, but it's very bushy, like very bushy. So anyways, that's how this part of the indoor garden is going. Yes, these need to be put into their own Aerogardens with water and probably a little bit of food, as well as the celery. So next time you see these, hopefully I will have had my act together and I will have them in their own Aerogardens. Here is how the pepper plants inside are doing. They are doing amazing. They just keep getting bigger and push out more flowers, and they are finally changing color. So I think they're going to be red. This one looked like it had, I don't know if I can show you, kind of buried in there. So, oops. But there we go, red one in there. So yeah, I think they'll just be red. And then I think the cherry tomatoes are getting pushed out. They're kind of getting shaded and they're kind of struggling a little and like growing off in weird angles. So it might be time to take them out. They're pushing out a lot of new growth. I mean, they're really nice and big and healthy, and I can't find half the tomatoes. It's just, yeah. Oh, and we did get, took a chance, brought in some. It's a lemon and lime tree. Brought them in from an outdoor nursery. I sprayed them. Sprayed the leaves with rubbing alcohol. I treated the dirt with hydrogen peroxide. So if I have any bugs, I am going to be so pissed, because I have wanted a lemon and a lime for so long. So when I saw these on sale, in clearance, always check your clearance, decided to take a chance, and I fingers crossed there's no bugs, because as you can see, they are like right up against the cherry tomatoes and the pepper plant, so if they have bugs, everything's gotta go. And speaking of everything that's gotta go, I think that the think the edamame might be ready to pick. So it did say that when the pods are plump, which they are, not all of them, this one's not very plump, but for the most part, all of them are plump, and when the petals, not the petals, the leaves start changing color to yellow, then it's time. So I don't know if it's now or in a couple of days. Sorry, his backlight's so bright. Yeah. So they are nice and plump, but I don't know if it's like, do they need another day or two, or is it a case of you pick them and the whole plant is done? Because they're still like flowers, but I think they're drying out, and I don't know if they're pushing out new growth. So this one, so these flowers look fine, so I don't know, like, will it push out more growth, or is it a one and done? Like, I don't know. Look, there's like, this whole thing here looks like really nice new growth. Where is that coming from? That might actually be from a plant that, yeah, that one, that's its first set of flowers, so it must have been stunted. But what I'm kind of thinking of doing, and, you know, let me know if you think I'm just off my rocker, but I'm thinking of picking them maybe in a day or three, unless somebody's got some better words of wisdom for me. I'll trust the internet. But I am thinking of picking them, taking down the edamame, and I am expecting some tomato seeds for a smaller tomato plant that is a paste style tomato. So I was thinking of actually planting one plant in each side, trying to get it in the middle. I don't know if there's actually a middle pod. It's one thing I don't like about the Aerogarden setup is you can't just buy a replacement deck and just be like, hey, I only want one plant, or I only want 3, and have it evenly spaced out or whatever. That's a complaint I have. So Aerogarden, if you're watching, replaceable decks. Hear me out. Replaceable decks. So, yeah, I'm thinking of taking this down probably once I pick them, I guess, and then I'll just prep it up for more tomatoes. Because I'm thinking of taking down the cherry tomatoes because I think the peppers are just taking over. And you know what? If this is my only source of peppers, I want to give them a chance. Mind you, that one is just, it's going insane. I'm going to have to raise that light again. Dang. Okay, so this is how all of the indoor stuff is going. Tell me if you know anything about edamame. Let me know, because I think they're ready to go, but I'm not 100% sure. And anyways, I will take you to see how the outside garden is doing. And finally, the outdoor garden. There is a definite chill to the air this morning. So the tomatoes are going like crazy still. I can see a bit of new growth with new flowers coming out. So with the fall weather, they've started pushing out growth again. And interestingly enough, here I'll have to get a little closer, my garlic started sprouting again. So I think this is the area that gets water. So they definitely, 3 of them have sprouted so far, so I don't know, and maybe the winter will kill them off. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And then one of my peppers has a very dark looking pepper on it. I think this is it's not the bell, Anaheim. This is the Anaheim. I planted them in alphabetical order so I could remember. The pumpkin, I think that one might actually be done. So the tendril is all dried out, so that was a little tiny one. This one, the tendril still has to dry out the rest of the way to the stalk. And then I think the one on the ground that one looks like it's really close. If it's not done, then it's so close. So I will probably take out this pumpkin vine because, see, it's dying off back here. Even though it's trying to push out new growth, this is all new. We've got a nice flower there, male flower. Like, it's not going to have time to plant, to push out another pumpkin. So I think I will let it finish up the pumpkins. It's got 3 here. Mind you, there's 2 or 3 plants here. So, but I'll let it finish up the pumpkins it's got, and then I'll just take it off. So this is our kiwi, and I don't know if you remember, I had a pumpkin there and a pumpkin there. So I cleaned it all off. It's all clean. So now we can see what the kiwi looks like. It's we didn't finish training it, so this one should have been going the other direction. Yeah, so I mean, we're doing the best we can. When we trim it up in the spring to train it, it will hopefully do a lot better because we got a whole bunch of looping growth here as well. So yeah, I gotta look up how to do that again. And then the cucumbers, I harvested a couple of cucumbers. I had one hiding on me and I didn't notice it right away, so it got pretty big. This one actually looks like it's really close. The ones on the other side here, you know, I think there's a little bit of scabbing on it, and I think it stunted this part of it, so they might actually be ready to pick. It's hard to tell because they're kind of deformed. So this is the mystery pepper. It's doing pretty good. I picked a pepper from it, and I'm probably going to just freeze it with some of the peppers from the mini jalapeno and just use those for roasting, roasting salsa in the fall. This one, I actually moved it because the soil was drying out. It just looked like it was getting stressed from the sun. So even though it's really cool in the morning, it's been really hot during the day and the sun's been beating down on it. And I kind of felt bad. It was looking droopy. So I moved it so it'd get a little bit of afternoon shade, but I think it'll be okay in the morning. And then I finally picked that pear that was over here, but I got some more. They're looking sort of ripe. So we've just been checking the top. It seems like there's a lot of information and a lot of it's conflicting. So it's hard to tell what to do. So, but pretty much we've been trying to go with if it looks like it's about, the right color, then we've been trying to go with that. So this one's getting close, this one's getting close. This is actually, if you do not like a gritty pear, this is a really good pear. The skin is really tough and gritty, but if you peel it, it was a really nice, smooth, sweet-tasting pear. I mean, it was really good. My husband's in love, so he loves everything pineapple. So oh my goodness, this part of the garden, the nasturtium has taken over. The basil is peeking out. The nasturtium is taking over. My leeks. Oh my goodness. See, I have a nasturtium just sprouting on its own here. These are I believe they're leeks. So I don't think they're going to be done in time for a fall harvest, unfortunately. My purple basil is doing well. Tomatoes are doing awesome. So that's mostly what I've been interested in, is the tomatoes. Everything else has just kind of been like ooh, can I get it to grow? So what is this again? This is rutabaga, and it's obviously getting attacked by something, so yeah. But yeah, the onions are not doing too well. They started pushing out new growth again. Dill's doing great. Dill just self-seeded itself. Again, the nasturtium is just taking over. I hacked it back a while ago, and it's just, yeah, still a problem. And then, yeah, the nasturtium's still over here. Some of the stuff that I planted over here does not look like it has sprouted yet. My beans that I planted underneath the tomatoes, they seem to have given up the ghost. I did finally, like I said last time, oh, look at that. So I don't know if you can see it, there's some beets growing. So I planted beets in the middle, and then around the edge, which I don't see anything yet. Oh, maybe? No, false alarm. I did plant carrots around the edge. So I think there'll be enough time for it to happen, but I could always cover. So this is it's a grow tent, very large one, a hoop house. I could try to put the cover back on and see if I can extend the season. The problem with doing that is, I have no way to heat it, and so, it gets cold at night and it gets warm during the day, so I don't know if I'm winning. Now, I don't know if these tomatoes are getting close. This one might be done, the potato. I don't know if these potatoes are getting close, but this one looks like it might be, so I'll have to harvest those soon. And then whatever this was, which I suspect it was broccoli or cauliflower, yeah, it had aphids, so I just had to get rid of it, unfortunately. The chickens loved it though. So, and then over here the cherry tomatoes are doing well. I have just been dehydrating them. I don't have any lettuce, and I'm not about to run to the store to buy lettuce if I've got some growing, so I've just been toughing it out. I've just been dehydrating them to save for over the winter. I don't normally have a ton of salads over the winter, but, I have the possibility of making them, and I can always have them as side salads. So I can just throw them on a side salad, and it's a nice little pop of flavor. Yeah, the tomatoes along here are not doing well, but the beans are trying. I don't think I'm going to get beans for the fall. I think I either started them too late or the slugs have just been hammering them too much. So, and then, oh, here we go. We have our first hula berry for the fall. So there's probably going to be a whole bunch of malformed ones in here, but that is just what the hula berries seem to do. We don't have a good pollinator yet. I'm gonna try to take out the rest of this row as soon as these ones produce more plants. They're not putting runners out, so little concerned that these don't do runners, so I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, so that's the garden. The surprise winner, I think, was the edamame. So yeah, if you think those are ready to be picked, let me know. I think they're really close, honestly. Maybe another day or so, and I should be able to maybe pick them. So I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have some videos up at the end that you might also enjoy, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.